go find out all the debt that you have. Don't shy away from it. You know, a lot of people don't want to worry about it, like, oh, I have it, but no, I don't know what my balance is on this student loan or that. Know your numbers, like find those numbers, because once you see those numbers, that would be another fuel to the fire to want to pay off your debt.
For some people like me, debt can feel like an incredible weight on your shoulders. After carrying that weight for a while, there comes a time when you say, I'm done with this. On our debt-free segment today, we're going to interview Brandyn Rodriguez from San Antonio, Texas. Recently, Brandyn and her husband became debt-free after paying off $137,000 of debt in less than 5 years. Today, we're going to learn how they accomplished this family financial goal and what they're doing with their money now. Welcome to the show, Brandyn.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm glad you're here. This is going to be a lot of fun. You and I had a chance to meet recently, and I'm glad we're able to do this interview now. So tell me, why did you want to become debt-free in the first place?
I was tired of debt weighing me down, just kind of like what you said. I wanted more for my future. I wanted more for my children. So my children were my why, but also looking at interest rates and seeing how much I was paying in interest on credit cards, student loans, even my mortgage. Like, that's just so much interest going to mortgage each month. And I was like, okay, well, if we can knock out the rest of our other debt, then we can focus on our mortgage later. And so between interest and our kids, that was kind of like the fire that fueled me to like, hey, we can do this and let's get started.
Yeah. So you mentioned the mortgage. What other type of debt did you have when we talked about this big number of $137,000?
Oh yeah. So you name it, we have it. So we had student loans, we had car payments, we had credit cards, we had medical bills. We had it all. I would say the bulk of it was credit cards and student loan payments, and car payments really ate up the most of it. And it was one of those things, my husband's like, well, we can afford the payments. It was like, yeah, we can afford them monthly, which is great. But when you start looking at how much you're throwing out towards debt payments a month, and it was like, you know what, we could really use that money for something else. It's okay. Yeah, we can afford it, but I'd rather use it for something else.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the process of becoming debt-free. What did you do to become debt-free? Let's talk about maybe the increasing income side. What did you do to increase your income?
Yeah, so over the 5 years that we were on our debt-free journey, 2 of those years we did side hustles. They weren't anything glamorous, but they got the job done. So the first year that we started our journey, again, I was just kind of telling myself, I was like, yeah, our normal job can help us, and we were able to do the snowball method. But I was like, I want it to go faster, and I wanted to move a lot faster. So I chose to wait tables. So I waited tables, which was only going to be for 3 months. And my husband thought I was crazy. I was like, I got a part-time job. And he was like, no, you didn't. And I was like, yeah, I did. And he was just like, have you lost your mind? Like, there's no way you can work a part-time job on top of everything that we already do as a family and our careers. So I did, and I said I was going to do it for 3 months. And of course, because I got a part-time job, that also meant that he had to do the same thing. So he ended up getting a part-time at Home Depot. And as we started this journey, and he was like, oh, wow, we were knocking stuff out, especially those smaller debts, right? 500, 1,000, 1,500. We're going really, really quick while we're doing that side hustles. So we committed to 1 year. After the first 3 months, we're like, okay, let's commit to 1 full year and see how far we can get. And we did it. And by that, the 12th month, I was like, okay, I am done. I was like getting off of work at 5 for my regular job to rush to the restaurant to be there at 5:30, to meet my husband on the side of the road, to swap a kid, to pick up a kid, to get one kid to practice, to get one child here, to drop off somewhere else. It was a lot, but it was worth it. And so we did that for a year. And then we were like, okay, we need a break. We can't sustain this. And so we took a break for about year 3 and 4. And then that final year, I was like, okay, we were literally at the finish line, and it was just student loans. And I was like, okay, I think I need that extra push. I work for a nonprofit, so I don't get bonuses. My husband gets bonuses at his job, and we were able to use that money, but I was like, I want that extra push. And so during that time, the very final year, we started doing DoorDash in Favor. And Favor is a Texas-based delivery service here. And that was more family friendly because our kids can come with us. I have a teenager and a 6-year-old, so our kids can be in the car while we go do a 2-hour shift. We can do it as a family if my husband was going to do his shift, and we all can hang out, and then so vice versa. So we did that for the final year, and then finally September 2020, I was able to hit submit on my last student loan payment, which was just amazing.
Wow, that is the epitome of hard work. I am in awe with how dedicated both of you were to this process. Now, doing that and the amount of time that it took, I'm sure that wasn't easy on your marriage. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, and it's so funny because we joke about this. Actually, during that journey, I feel like we were the closest we've been because we really had to work together as a team to make sure we were taking care of home, our kids, our careers, and then we were working together on like one goal to eliminate debt. Granted, we didn't see each other a lot because it was like one's coming, one's going, one's coming, one's going. But I feel like our communication was really good. We were focused on our goals during that time frame. And then when it did become too much, we knew when it's like, okay, we're not going to work a side hustle this weekend because we need to have family time. We need to have DJ and Brandy time. We know DJ, you take Sydney. I'm going to take Emery. We'll have our own special date with the girls. So we realized that we knew that we needed to rest and reset when it became too much. And thankfully, again, because these were side hustles and part-time jobs, if we didn't want to do it anymore, we could quit. And it was like, hey, we're fine. We're not going to do this anymore and completely quit. But I do think during that 5 years, our marriage was probably the strongest. Although some people may not think that. We're like, yeah, how was that? You never saw each other, but we just made time. I mean, even when we'd be at work by day, it was like, okay, well, let's have a lunch date and we'll just meet for lunch and, go over our goals and what we were working on. And it was 45 minutes like, okay, well, see you tonight when it's time to go to bed because either one of us were going somewhere after work.
I love that perspective. Yeah, because the first thing in my mind was like, oh wow, they're like two ships passing in the night. They never see each other. But I love the way that you talk about it. Is we were on a mission together. It was like something we were partnering on, and we were on a goal, and we were both caring about it. So that's a really good perspective. How about the you guys were hustling, making a lot of extra money. Did you guys do things to control your expenses or decrease your expenses, or are you guys saying, hey, side hustles are our way to get out of debt?
We just stayed on a budget. We did a zero-based budgeting, which worked best for us, and we did not decrease our expenses. Funny thing is, we didn't decrease our expenses until after we became debt-free. That's when we decided to cut cable and some other things, but we were determined to focus on paying off our debt, staying on a budget, and keeping the things that we enjoyed. So my husband's a golfer, so he would go golfing at least once a week, not at least once a week, but he made sure that golfing was in his budget. For me, my hair, pedicure and stuff. But more importantly, we always made sure that our girls didn't have to sacrifice anything because of our past mistakes. For those that follow me on social media, know that my oldest plays college volleyball. Not yet. I hope she plays college volleyball. That's the goal. So that she plays club volleyball, and that's an expensive sport. And so she's been playing for many, many years since she was like 9. And so we made sure that she still got to play that. And we weren't going to take away from her. We could have easily been like, you know what, maybe Sydney's not going to play for 2 or 3 years and we can rush our debt-free journey. No, we wanted to make sure that she still had those opportunities. Even for our youngest, I mean, she's only 6, but she's been playing the YMCA basketball for 3 years, and she did gymnastics and things like that. So we always want to make sure that our girls didn't have to sacrifice because of our past money mistakes that we did.
I love that. I definitely prioritize kids' activities and sports and camps and things like that as far as my splurging, because I think that was something that was really important to me when I was growing up, and I really like sports too. So absolutely, I completely agree with you. So talk to me a little bit about what happened when you guys hit that button and you said, hey, we're debt free. Did you guys celebrate? What changed in your lives? Talk to us about that a little bit.
It was an amazing feeling. First of all, my entire family was in the office with me as I hit submit on that very last student loan payment. And then it was just like, now what? Kind of deal. It was like the biggest sigh of relief that I had. And it was like, okay, what do we do now? So that was the end of September. So basically my husband and I decided like, hey, the rest of 2020, we're just going to relax, chill, continue to pay our normal bills, save money, and find out a plan for 2021. And so that's kind of what we did. We were able, celebration wise, we took our like first debt-free vacation that Christmas. We took our kids up to Dallas and stayed at a nice resort for the holidays, which was really, really great. And, didn't have to charge it and pay it back 6 and 7 months later because you're only making minimum payments. So it was really good to have that opportunity for our first debt-free vacation, and been able to do so ever since. That following summer, we did a staycation with my family, my side of the family. My family's never done a vacation together. I have 2 older siblings, and they both have 2 kids each, but we've never gotten together outside just going to each other's houses. And so we did a staycation last summer of 2020, 21, can't remember, COVID years. And that was great. It was a great experience. I was like, hey, I want everyone to go. And everyone was kind of like, well, I don't know, I got to move things around. I'm like, look, just put in this much. show up on this date. I got the rest, and we're going to go and have a really great time. And so it was good to do that and hang out with family and nieces and nephews and make that become a tradition. I am 38 and my siblings are 51 and 49. So it was good to start a new tradition with family because I don't have that debt over me. So it was really, really good.
I love that. And I have a similar break between my siblings too. I'm the youngest of four, and I've got some siblings that are in their 50s as well. So I feel that. But it's great to get together with family and create those traditions. I feel like that's what money, or at least that's what makes me happy with money, spending my money on experiences and getting together with family. So you've also talked a little bit, I've seen, about investing and how that's been an important part of your journey now that you guys are debt free. Talk to us a little bit about how you're investing.
I am just getting started. As I was learning, once I became debt free outside of my workplace retirement account, I wasn't doing any investing. But as that last quarter of 2020, as I paid off my student loans, I started, of course, learning more, doing research. Debt free community is amazing when talking about investing. So I opened up 529 accounts for my daughters. For the longest, I always put it off because I thought, well, I need to have $1,000 to open up an account. And every year when I was younger, in my 20s, I'm like, oh, when I get my tax return, I'm going to open up an account for my kids. Never did. And years have gone by. And then I realized, it's really, truly not too late to invest. I know everyone says that, and it's the truth. It doesn't matter what age you are, you can invest. Depending on your age, you may have to do a little bit more to catch up, depending where you want to be when you hit retirement. But I've been able to open accounts for my daughters in their 529 accounts, open up IRAs. I just maxed out my 2021 Roth IRA. So that was really exciting. It kind of felt like I paid off a debt. Like I had that excitement again of, hitting a goal. And the most recently I shared on Instagram, I'm not one to look at my net worth because I was always scared, especially during my debt-free journey. I didn't want to see what those numbers look like. And so once we paid off our debt, March 2021, we looked at our net worth and it was this, $12,000. And I was like, well, it's positive. If I would have looked at it while we're in debt, that would have been a whole different number. So I'm like, it's positive. I'm not going to beat myself up for it. We own a house, so that takes up a lot. Anyways, just recently looked at it and now we're at $84,000 in like a 10-month swing. And I was like, wow. And what changed? I was like, I paid off my debt. I started investing through my 403, increased my contributions for my 403, as well as opening an IRA. I wasn't expecting to see that big of a swing in 10 months. So I'm like, okay, I'm taking small steps and my small steps are still making progress. So I'm like, just keep doing what I'm doing and I will get to where I want to be when it's time to retire.
Wow, I love that. And what a testament to just starting where you are and then taking those steps to get now almost to $100,000 net worth. That is fantastic. Now there's somebody listening right now and they've got, maybe 6 figures of debt. They're feeling a little overwhelmed and they're like, just feeling like they're never going to get out of this debt. Can you talk to that person right now? Maybe give them just one step following this interview that they could take?
You can do it. I know I felt the same way. I was always going to have student loans. I was always going to have car payments, but there is way too many people across this country and world who has done what I've done, who's in the process of doing it. So I would say that you can do it. Believe in yourself. And the very first step is, money mindset. Make sure that you can do it. Believe in yourself. And then know your numbers, right? So right after this, I would tell you, go find out all the debt that you have. Don't shy away from it. A lot of people don't want to worry about it. Like, oh, I have it, but no, I don't know what my balance is on this student loan or that. Know your numbers, like find those numbers. Because once you see those numbers, that would be another fuel to the fire to want to pay off your debt. And again, small steps makes progress, but know your numbers and make sure that your money mindset is there so you can believe in yourself to get it done.
This is great advice, Brandyn. Thank you so much for your time today. And thank you so much for sharing your super inspirational family win with us. I understand that you are very busy on Instagram and you're sharing great information out there. Where can people connect with you if that's the best place to go, or your website? Where should they go?
Yep, you can find me on Instagram. I'm PositivelyB on Instagram, as well as my blog is www.positivelybee.com.
I love that. And yes, you are definitely in the positive territory for that net worth too. So we're all positive, right? I love it. Very cool. Brandyn, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.